Hey everybody, this is Brent, and welcome to Brent's Crossroads. It's going to be a little bit different of a video than what I've usually done. As I look back, this was the end of the first year for the channel, and looking in retrospect, I go back and I think, did I make the right decision to do this? Have I enjoyed myself? What are the things that I've learned over this past year? And, is it something I would do again? And the answer is unequivocally yes. I was a little bit hesitant at first to put myself out here and share my experiences and my travels and my thoughts. But the more I thought about it, I'm a creative kind of guy. As you know, I'm a fiction writer also, and just the ability to continually find new outlets and creative ways to express myself. Just starting up the YouTube channel was a natural extension of everything, because I've actually even started up recently a second channel, Our Darkest Fears, that covers my love of horror and my fiction writing. But I started the Crossroads as a way to share my cruise experiences, my Disney experiences, any other travel experiences I have, because we travel a lot and we go to different places. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes when I watch some videos, and I know people will watch mine and have issues with mine, and that's fine. That's just the way it is. But, there's some things, I'd watch videos and I'd be like, it didn't have the information I was looking for, or it's like, man, I could think of a better way to do that. And it's like, I decided that I would take a stab at it and do it myself. And so here we are at the end of the first year. So the reason I'm doing this video is because I want to just kind of think about the things that I've learned and how I feel like I've grown over this year and where the channel and Brent's Crossroads goes on from here. And I'd like to thank you all for coming along. I'd like to thank all of you that have been around for this last year, for everybody that has liked and subscribed. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's what keeps me going and keeps me wanting to do this. So the first thing I've learned about myself is that I can do it. And if you ever have wanted to start a YouTube channel, do it. I've had videos that nobody watches, and I don't care. I had fun in the process. I had fun putting it out there. I had fun doing and experiencing what I did to even get the footage for the video. So, don't hold back. The second thing I learned, don't put off travels. As there's health things that have come up and things that have happened, I'm glad we've taken the trips we have, and I'm glad we continue to take them. And I feel like I'm not going to have any regrets in the end. I feel like I've done everything that I can to go out and experience the world and enjoy the world, learn new things, go new places, try a bunch of things. I like, and every once in a while I might talk about it. Whenever I travel, I like picking up like candies from foreign places. What are chocolate bars like in Greece? They were fantastic. What are soft drinks like in the Caribbean? Most of the ones I've had are fantastic. But you don't get to experience that unless you go out and travel. I think sometimes we get kind of caught in our little boxes and we find it hard to escape. Find a way. Break down a wall, kick in the door, save pennies, cash in aluminum cans, sell a kidney. Don't really sell a kidney. Don't listen. Disclaimer, do not sell a kidney. The third thing I learned is that I can learn new things. I felt like for a while, like learning things for me, it became kind of stagnant. I was really getting bored with with a lot of things, and the ongoing just wheel of life was just, I was bored creatively. And I get on myself a lot for not being like very like technologically sound. And I've surprised myself by how much I've been able to self-teach myself about editing software and putting clips together and adding sound and adding effects and different things to videos that I never would have thought I would have been able to learn before. And I never would have learned that if I didn't take the plunge into this YouTube channel, which is another reason. Take the plunge. And, you know, if you, and I go back and I look at the first videos that I first put out, I just look at them like cringe, like groan. And it's like, man, I wish I could go back. I wish I could do this better. I want to do this better. I wish I could do this. But I've used that to where, as a learning experience, to where every video I've done since then, my goal is just to improve upon stuff. And I hope you've seen that, and I hope you've recognized it. And I hope that's why you're still around. And, you know, my goal is to still get better and better. I'm never, and even as a writer, even when I get done, the editors are done with the book, everything's done with the book and it's released, I'm still never happy with it. I've been known to go back and like tinker with stuff like way later because I feel like I'm never really totally satisfied. So I'm always trying new things. I'm always trying to up the ante, to learn new things, to put new things into the videos. And I hope you've seen that, and I hope you've enjoyed that, because you know, that's what I want you to enjoy yourself. I want you to learn new things. I want you to experience new things. And then I want you to go out and do it yourself. You know, the one thing I've learned is regret. Not long before I decided to do the channel in December of 2024, there were some trips that I took that I wish I would have made this decision. I wish I would have made this decision sooner, because I had a Mediterranean cruise that I could have done far more things on to share and experience with. Paris, Disneyland, things like that. London. There are things that I wish, I mean, even if I didn't have videos for them, there were things I wish I would have had the mindset to videotape, to prepare for. It's like, I've got pictures. I could do a slideshow video on a bunch of this stuff, but I don't know. I don't think it's the same. Slideshow videos are fine, but I like an actual video because I want to make you feel like you're there. I want to go back and look at it and remember what it was like whenever I was there. And I think it's easier to show you and, you know, help you learn some tips and tricks and things. You know, if we're actually walking through the streets of someplace and experiencing it, if we're at a port, if we're at an island, if, you know, we're learning how to do happy entry for Tokyo Disneyland, you know, these are the things, you know, I want to share, and I like to experience, and I hope you experience. So going forward, the 2026 is going to be a big year. And if you've noticed, I kind of have to batch things. So like right now, yeah, there's a lot of Disneyland content because, well, that was my latest trip. So as a content creator that does a lot of cruise videos and Disney videos and things like that, it's challenging when you don't live anywhere close to a port, when you don't live next to a park, you know, and a lot of these other vloggers and YouTubers, they have that advantage. So those of us that don't, the challenge is being able to take what little time we get and making the most out of it. And that's where you can really have to be creative. But, you know, 2026, we've got a big Jubilee cruise. And then if you like cruising stuff, if you like learning about cruises, if you like learning about ports in Mexico and Roatan, that will be the next batch of And I'll throw some Disney stuff in just to break it up, but that'll be the next batch of videos. Will be our cruise on the Jubilee coming up in a few weeks. This year we'll also be going, and I'll have some stuff from St. Augustine, Florida, and hopefully out west in Yellowstone, places out there. So this year we'll be more focused on other travel locations besides just cruising. Don't know if I'm going to be able to hit anything Disney, hopefully by the end of the year. And some of the other stuff I'm going to do is some kind of like haunted travel. Like there's a couple locations here around, within a couple hours drive of some like urban legendy places and haunted places. I'm going to throw travel to those places in as well, because I want to be this channel, and that's why I called it The Crossroads. It's like the crossing between like my love of Disney, my love of cruising, and my love of just travel in general. And that place in the middle is where I stand, and that's where this channel stands. And I hope you've enjoyed it so far. And I hope you stick around, because we're going to be doing bigger and better things. Things are getting better and improving. And hopefully we'll have new things to offer. So I'd like to thank you for meeting me here at the Crossroads. And don't forget, don't put off that trip. Take it, because you don't want to have any regrets. And I'll see you out on the Crossroads. Bye.